for me, always when there is a dance scene in films, it's in most times I like it very much. And when we were rehearsing Dogtooth, in Dogtooth there is a dance scene at the end, and I had to watch Flash dance, and it was a reference because the character that I play in Dogtooth at the end of the film, she is dancing and she's trying to imitate the last sequence of a Flash dance, of the dancer in Flash dance. So I remember that I was like watching the last scene of Flashdance again and again, and I was somehow trying to imitate the movements, but since I'm not a dancer, it was somehow, the result was somehow clumsy, but it was nice because that was what was all about. Like the character at some point, at that point, was trying to liberate herself in any way she could through her body. So for me, it's really something really liberating, either to watch in films or to do. You know, I always like complex characters and complex stories, and like stories that go a little bit deeper or try to explore themes. I always, it's very important for me to read the script and then talk to the director and somehow understand the vision of the director or what kind of world the director wants to create. And then I think that's very important. And if I understand that I can fit into this world, or I can, let's say, dive into the world, then I do the film. And also it's important for me, like the women characters, I really like it when they are really written in a way that it is not, a typical or stereotypical way of a female character, because really I'm tired of, reproduce the same stereotypes, gender stereotypes and all that. So I really try to find characters that are beyond the, Yeah, in a way, yeah. I think we choose we want to communicate something with the audience and with people, and in our times, it's very important to have that responsibility. I mean, you also say something with not only with the way you act, but with the films that you choose and what kind of films you choose to be in or to participate. It's very important for me, really. There are so many directors that I admire a lot, really. I like things that are edgy sometimes, and either it is very dramatic or it is very comic. It's always very interesting for me. So maybe I would like to explore. I would like to explore the comic side of. Although, I think you can also combine it. Some films are also tragic and comic at the same time. And this is also something that I like. I like things where I like films where there are a lot of different qualities, and it's like a composition and qualities and change. And, it's not only one. Yeah, one dimension. I studied a lot. I read a lot about amnesia, about Alzheimer, and I also saw a lot of interviews of real people, and I met a doctor, and he also showed me some material and some people that were like that, and I started to realize how it is to not to have memory, actually, which means that a big part of ourselves is based on what we remember. And I was thinking that, if you really lose all the data of your memory, then what are you? I mean, there is then something so empty, and there is like an empty space in your brain and in your body, which is I don't know. It's really strange. So I was trying to explore how it is to have nothing, no information of your past life, and this is what I was trying to do. Yes, I mean, it depends on the director, but yeah, in many films, I have, during the rehearsals, I improvise a lot. Let's say in Dogtooth, we were improvising a lot. We rehearsed 1 month and a half, and we improvised a lot with the other 2 actors on what kind of games the siblings were playing in the house. So we invented a lot of new games. We explored the relationship with their parents. And I think it's very helpful because it creates like a bond between the actors. And when we started shooting, we were more aware of what the siblings do in their everyday life, you know, and how they spend their time, because they were staying in this isolated house and they were never going out. So we really had to explore what they were doing so many hours every day. And it was a really nice way to explore the characters and the actual situation of what was happening in there. Yeah, this is something that, you know, it's strange because it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction because you try to prepare yourself and at the same time you try not to be prepared, which is, I know it's contradictory, but it's part of the preparation of an actor. I mean, it's very nice to be able to bring yourself in a situation where you can surprise yourself and surprise everyone else, because that's very important. Because if you have pre-decided mostly everything, there's no space left, and then you just go to the shooting and you just do what you have already in mind, which is okay, but sometimes I think it can be a burden, or it can be like a prison. And sometimes it's also nice to be prepared, but at the same time leave some space open to propose new things, or to be really creative at the moment, or react at the moment, and, you know, bring something new that you have never imagined, or the director also have never imagined. It's a vivid process, and this is what I like a lot in shootings, when you know, you can still keep it vivid, and you know, and also take risks, because you never know. You may propose something out of an intuition which is really nice and fits to the character and elevates the scene, but maybe not. Maybe it also destroys the scene, but it's okay. I mean, I think it's really important to be able to try new things even during the shooting, because then you feel that you are not in a safe zone, you know. And it's always important for me not to feel safe and not to feel secure, like, oh, okay, now I'm so self-conscious, I know what I'm doing, everything is decided. And then it's somehow there is a danger that you kill the intuition, which is always very important. Let's say you try to create a space and a system where they can fall into a trap, not in a bad way, in a trap where they can also not be so secure and so safe, and where possibilities are always open, and they can also be in the middle of really being creative every day, and not like feeling that, okay, now everything is done and we did it, and let's repeat what we have already established, and that's it. And I think I always try to make them be creative, like every night, or at least try new things, or not feel like, you know, it's done now. Now I'm just keep repeating every night what we have already built. And try to refresh, sorry, no, it's okay. And try to refresh actually what they're already doing every night. Because theater has to do with a lot of repetition, and then at some point you know, you may become a little bit automatic, which is not nice. Well, there are so many different directors and different stories, but I think what they have in common is that there is, I could say there is an urge and a real need to do films and to say stories in Greece, because, you know, as everywhere, it's not so easy to make films, and you always have to wait, and it's a lot of work for everyone. And I think what I really like a lot is that there are so many different people with different visions and different ways to say their story, but they all insist, and they create really different and diverse films, and I like that a lot.